This idea of resurrection, this idea of the dead rising. I wanted to explain what that means esoterically and how we actually do that esoterically. You know, of course, this is surrounded by the idea of Jesus resurrecting the dead, which in the story he did. Who did he resurrect? Lazarus. How you doing? And then of course, you know, he himself was resurrected in the story anyway. But I want to talk about how we actually do that within ourselves, metaphysically and esoterically. How we do that is by remembering. I know I talk about remembering all the time, but that's what this whole entire journey is. It is the journey of forgetting and remembering simultaneously, which is also life and death simultaneously. So the process of remembering is when we have those aha moments, when we actually remember something, the metaphysics behind something, when we can make the connection between the physical realm and the unseen realm, and we can see the parable between them, and we have an aha moment. We actually give our unseen self, or our spiritual self, or our God self, or our higher self, or our alien self, whatever term you want to use that helps you sleep better at night, okay? We start waking up that self by giving ourselves aha moments. Say aha. 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 That's breath. That ha. That ha sound is breath. Okay? So every time you do that and you make your neurons connect, which your neurons are the light beings that exist within your cells, those neurons, when they connect, you remember something and a ding, a light bulb goes off. That's also how you become a enlightened being. You become enlightened because ding, 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 all them lights start going off. Kind of like at Christmas time when everybody hanging up the lights on the tree. Okay, and it's this big show of all these lights. Yes, that represents the resurrection of Christ. Well, no, that's Christmas, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it represents, all those lights going off represents you resurrecting the truth. And the truth is that you're immortal. And the truth is that you don't actually exist. This flesh is just a simulation of what really is happening in the unseen realm. Okay, so I wanted you to get that part where you say aha, because every time you do that, you give your true self breath. And you do it to the point where you start to realize that, hey, I'm actually invisible. I'm actually a spirit. I'm actually unseen. And this flesh is not real, and I'm immortal. And when you accept that you're immortal, then you lower how much you give a shit about a lot of this stuff that's going on, because you know you can't die. So I'm about to sit down on this grass. Oh, is it wet? I'm at the park up the street from my house. I like to walk down here. Anyway, let me sit down for a minute, because I'm about to make another connection for y'all. It is a little bit wet because it rained yesterday, didn't it? Anyway, so when you have the aha moment, right? And you keep doing the aha, and you keep making all those connections, you bring yourself breath, which is life, okay? And a lot of lights start going off, and you become an enlightened being. Now, enlightenment is not, there's different types of enlightenment, because sometimes we get to this place of enlightenment where the ego takes over, and we start to think that we're above other people, and we start to think that we know more than other people, so everybody else is dumb, okay? That's when we get to the point where we start saying everybody else is dumb. And trust me, I know I've done that, and I still do that sometimes. I am not above saying that somebody is stupid, okay? But I also know that when I do that, that I'm doing it from an egotistical perspective, because we all go through these phases where we're in a state of ignorance, of not knowing the true self. That's what know thyself really means. We threw that phrase around a lot. Well, I know I did when I first became so-called woke. The phrase know thyself, but it's really is knowing thyself from the perspective of knowing that this is an illusion. Knowing thyself from that perspective. Knowing that when you look up in the sky and you see the sun, that is really not there. That is actually inside of you. And when you see the moon, knowing that it's not really there, it's inside of you. Knowing that everything outside of you is a reflection of what's inside of you. That's what really know thyself really is. On its deepest level. Now, I'm not going to get in. I'm about to get into the straw man stuff. Because on its deepest level is actually expressing that in the physical realm and really being all the way free. Because you invisible. So how the hell you breaking any laws and all that if you know you don't exist? But that's a whole nother layer. It's always layers and levels. Okay, so getting back to the ahas, right? So you start having all these light bulbs start going off and you become enlightened. But the other part of enlightenment is being light, like as in weight. So that means that you don't have a lot of cares. It doesn't mean that you're a cold person, but it means that you don't allow things to burden you to the point where you become heavy and you become worried and you become anxious and you can't sleep at night and you tossing and like you don't care to that point. You can care, but you're not supposed to carry it. Care and carry is the same tone and vibration. So yes, you can care, but you're not supposed to carry it to the point where it's disturbing your peace. So being a light being is also being light in weight. It's being so light to the point where, and I have not mastered this, I'm just expressing what it is. It's being so light to the point where hardly anything bothers you. You don't care about other people's opinions. You don't care about other people's perspectives. You don't care about what other people believe and their religions. You don't care about that shit, because what that got to do with me? Because if it's going to interrupt my peace, then you've automatically made yourself so light. You're on a whole nother vibration. So whereas though you're so above it, not that you're above those people, you're above that vibration. You're above being bothered and weighed down by that stuff. So you become that light. You become that light. So it's two different ways to be an enlightened being. And being enlightened is not just about what you know. You can know a lot of stuff and not apply none of that shit. Being what you know is not the end all be all. Are you actually applying it to your life? That's when you start mastering it, when you actually apply it to your life. Like even with this whole coronavirus thing, and I know I talk about this all the time, that I forgot I had a hole in my tights that I got on. You know, I just threw these tights on. But anyway, it's like when this coronavirus stuff came up, suddenly everybody forgot, oh, we create our own reality. It's like everybody just threw that shit to the side. It's like, what happened to that? What happened to you create your own reality? Where did it go? I'm not going to get into that because I already made a video about that. It's on my YouTube page. If you're interested, you can go to my YouTube page. Go to YouTube, look up BlaQ Fire Nation. If you're bored, it's a Saturday, you ain't got nothing to do, and the kids is driving you crazy, put your headphones on. Some people spend all day on my YouTube page because I got like 100 and something videos. But anyway, the other part of the aha moment, or the ahas, is that you can have so many ahas, which is you remembering your true self, that you get to the point where you then you start realizing that all of this shit is a joke. Then you start realizing that none of this shit is real. It's a joke. It's a trick. That's why it's called the Matrix. So you should have so many ahas to the point where you realize that it's all a joke. That it's all an act. and everybody's actors, and everybody has a script that they're writing, even though they don't like to admit that they're writing the script. Even when people die, they wrote that into their script too. Death is such a very touchy subject. But yes, you wrote the script. You wrote your own death into the script too. I believe that you can edit the script. Those who are creditors, which is a creator, they can edit the script. That's why the word edit is in credit, because they can make changes to it as they please. But those who think that everything outside of them is shit just happening and it ain't got nothing to do with them, those are debtors. That's the difference between a debtor and a creditor. That's a creditor. That's the difference between somebody that's spiritually dead and somebody that's awake. Somebody that's awake knows that they are creating everything that happens and manifests in their life and in their immediate experience. So as far as waking up the dead and raising the dead, I'm going to say it one more time, that it starts off with you having aha moments and you connecting your aha moments to the unseen. It's not so much about you being woke, about knowing your Black history. It's so much deeper than that. It's so much deeper than even being woke to the point where you know, oh, the Black woman is God and she was the original woman on earth. It's deeper than that. It's to the point where you realize that you're nobody. That we're all nobody. And by nobody, I mean literally nobody. Like you really don't have a body. That's why when you die, the shit stays here. When you quote unquote die, it stays here. It's sitting in a casket somewhere. Temporarily at least. So you keep having those aha moments to the point where all the lights go off. Where all the lights go off. Like the lights go on, but the lights go off. So, oh God. It's duality with the lights. The lights going off, meaning that the lights turn off because you start realizing that nothing is there. It goes dark. It goes black. You start realizing that the truth is this. When you have your eyes closed, that's the truth. So the lights go off. So yeah, isn't that interesting how we say the lights go off? Oh, the lights were going off. Yeah, off. Anyway, I'm about to get off here. But it was just something that I realized, or I've been realized this, but I just wanted to share with y'all what it really means to raise the dead. And that is raising the dead. It's when you're giving yourself breath and you become so enlightened that you are above a lot of the average of the regular cares of regular humanity. When you become one with God. And then you have so many aha moments that you start to laugh. Okay. Meditation, I don't know if people realize this, but meditation helps you have more control over your mind. That's what it does for me. Government means mind control, right? So that's why I keep telling people, you're the government, you're the government, you're the government. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. I was pointing at the screen saying you're the government. But yeah, so meditation is you taking control over your mind, and when you practice that, you start doing it in real life. You start taking over. When you have a negative thought, you can stop it in mid-thought and flip it around, because you do that when you're meditating. It is definitely a dream. That is why in the Bible, in the beginning of the Bible where it says, and God made man in his image. Well, go look at the word image. Go look at the meaning of the word image. It's going to tell you that it means a dream. That's how you know the Bible is really all about the mind. It's all about the mind. And it's talking about atoms. And it's talking about Eve, which Eve is darkness. Okay? Okay. What is death? Death is my interpretation of death is to forget. We die all the time. We forget and we remember. Forget and remember. When the sun sets, it's going through a process of forgetting. And what happens the next day? You don't remember every single thing you did the next day, because you are also the sun, which is the soul, and you forget. You don't remember what you did 2 days ago, detail by detail. If you do, then you're probably a freaking genius, okay? But to me, a metaphor for death is the process of forgetting. Okay, it's the process of letting go. That's what death is. Death is also has the word heat in it, or is to deheat, which again is the sun dying, is fire going away or whatever, or getting hidden or something like that, to deheat something. That's what death is to me. Okay? People tell me I never take things seriously, I guess because I've been having so many aha moments. A divine blueprinter. Oh, I like that. I like that. On is synonymous to Osiris. So on, you're talking about the sun, right? Because that's another name for the sun. The Egyptian name for the sun is On. It's also Ra. Having a child is raising the dead. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. The whole process of what happens in the womb is raising the dead. It's just like the story of Asar and Aset, when Aset was getting all of his pieces and putting all of his pieces together. That's what happens in the womb. That's why in the Self-Realization of a Goddess class and course, I always tell that story, because it's a story of remembering, and it's a story of the womb. It has a lot to do with the womb, which I still am doing the self-realization class, by the way, since I got y'all on here. It starts May 23rd, right here in Philadelphia. I plan on using my sister's salon as long as she's still okay with it, but if not, someone else offered me a location. So Philly is definitely going to happen. As long as people show up, Philly is going to happen. So if you are in Philadelphia, if you're new to my page, then I teach a class called Self-Realization of a Goddess, and it is all about the metaphysics and science of the law of attraction. It teaches all sides of the law of attraction, not just, oh yeah girl, let's manifest this money, let's manifest a car. No, it teaches how you attract everything, not just the good stuff. It also teaches about the esoteric aspect of the straw man, but I do that more so in the online course, because I don't got time to get into all that in the class. Anyway, I'm still doing the tour. So if you are in Philly, if you are in Dallas, if you are in Atlanta, Savannah, Las Vegas, DC, which is very close to Baltimore. Did I say Dallas? Yeah, I think I named all of them. If you're in any of those places, please go to BlaQFireNation.com, click on Self-Realization event, and register, because I'm coming. Unless y'all don't come, or unless the city say we can't travel and all that shit. Other than that, I'm coming. All right, tickets are only $35 for a 4-hour class. So come, just to hang out with me, take a picture with me. Anyway, let's see what y'all saying. Oh yeah, that's right. TJ Godson said that death is knowledge. Somebody asked me what death is. Yes, it's also knowledge. In the Hebrew language, the word knowledge is da'ath. Da'ath is death. So that means that, or how I interpret it anyway, is that we don't really fully know until we die. You have to go through. It's kind of like the saying, well, if I tell you, I gotta kill you, because it got to do with secrets being revealed. Okay, we are the True Secret Society. I talked about that in my private group in Patreon. I got a private membership based group. If you're interested in that, you are more welcome to join. You should probably wait till the first of the month though, because it charges you every first of the month. But if you want to learn more about metaphysics and the metaphysics of the Bible, I actually been getting into the Quran lately in the group. So if you want to get into that, then come on in the group. I don't like sharing everything on Facebook, because I don't know. I just try to get away from doing everything on Facebook. I like having my own website How are you knowledgeable if death is forgetting too? Because it's happening simultaneously, Camilla. Everything is dual. Always remember that. I say that repeatedly. That everything is happening at the same time. So if you're forgetting, then you're also remembering. If you're dying, then you're also living. If it's up, then it's also down. If it's right, then it's also left. If it's on, then it's also off. If it's black, then it's also white. If it's a woman, then it's also a man. If it's a man, then it's also a woman. It's all happening at the same time. That's how. Which I know that's it's hard to grasp that. Doesn't mean that I fully grasp it. I just know that that's the law of duality, which is happening at the same time, but it looks like it's not. It appears, has word "peer" in it. That's how you know that when it happens the second time, it's like a delay, but it really already happened. Yeah, Camilla, always think about how things are all happening at the same time. Okay? So I read all y'all comments. I'm getting off here. I just wanted to share that. So I encourage y'all to keep having aha moments, keep remembering, and bring yourself back to life. You're Jesus. Raise your dead self. Raise your dead self. I guess that's how I'll say it. Anyway.